Otherwise, you all will be here until 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Introduce Dr. Priti Saxena, who is going to talk on the cool weather grasses.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's working. I can hear my own voice echo. Yeah. Well, I believe everyone is settled with some food and relaxed mind. Ready for the next chapter? Yeah, and it's about the cool season turf grasses. As Dr. Baird mentioned about the turf grasses broadly classified into cool season and warm season based on their temperature surviving ability. So I'm covering the cool season today, and they are beautiful. I love turf grasses. Well, no more offense, but before I start my career in turf grasses, I always believed these are just grasses. Green color, roadside grasses. Then I got admission in my PhD at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and there I learned at micro level what the difference in the grasses, how useful, what the aesthetic values they carry, and what the functional utility they carry into our lives, which we normally in everyday life we just ignore because they are there. We know that. It's growing right there. We can see that, okay, it's fine. But what if you don't have grasses in your lawn? Imagine, can you grow corn, soybean in your lawn and walk on it? No. You need grasses because it have those values which normally is not considered as essential in our lives, but we cannot ignore. How many of you guys have grasses in your lawn? Pretty much good number. What else do you have in your lawn then, if not turf grasses? Weeds? Animals? Edibles. Oh, that's wonderful. I can use that one. But imagine if you don't have time for bringing edibles in your lawn and you just want to look really beautiful. What are you going to do? Well, there are other options too, but one of the turf grasses' benefit is you can walk on them, you can sit on them, you can have sunbathing, your kids can eat, play, do anything on them. And yeah, yes, we can do that too, see? And apart from that, these grass species, well, particularly I'm talking about turf fescue right now, is not only as a turf grass, it's also the forage grass, where the cattle, horses, rabbits, every animal, cattle species eat it. And well, they can be used for human purposes. So my point of telling you about turf grasses is that it's have human beneficial effects, which at small level or at large level, they are influencing our lives. And it's good to learn about them, it's good to know about them, and we might have some benefits from them today even. So I would like to start with the cool season turf grass management at California. Well, for me it was a big drastic change from New Jersey, coming from there to here. I came in January here and I'm loving it here. It's nice. Yeah, and this is my first day in San Diego. So, productive day, I believe so. So, let's start. Well, let's start with the region. We are in California, which is Mediterranean type of climate we have here, which is long, dry, and hot summer. So, well, I'm not a summer person, though I'm from India. I came here in 2008 for my PhD. I grew up in subtropical climate, but New Jersey spoiled me. I love snow, and I don't love summer. But here I have a challenge to develop a cultivar, or more than one actually, Jim and that's what we have planned, to develop a cultivar from cool season grasses at first, to have summer tolerance, less water input, more greener quality, and traffic tolerant turf fescue. So to start anything before, you have to know what the objectives are. And for us, for turf grass in California, we need to know the climate. So here we have long, dry, and hot summer. And also that we have running out of water. There's always a constraint on the water. We have to control the amount of water we use on the grass, but at the same time, we want the beautiful lawn. Beautiful grass, we can walk on smooth, soft ball, rolling qualities, and pleasant. And you know, you look at this, oh, that's my lawn. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's what you want to show. So we have to have this thing that good grass, less water, less input, more output. That's what we are here for. So starting with this cool season turf grass species. First is turf fescue. that's the grant which I have my PhD on. And I had this objective was the growth habits. Different kind of growth habits in turf fescue. As Marco is passing on, and this is the other sample of the turf fescue. It would be lovely if you can pass it around to show the people. So individual single blade is a part of the tiller. If you see this whole blade going down onto the root thing is a single tiller. So tiller could have more than one blade. It can have 2 blades, it can have 3 blades. But single shoot is a tiller. And they all produce from mother tiller, keep multiplying within the leaf sheath. Leaf sheath is the structure which is around the tiller. So if you produce that, if the tiller comes out within the leaf sheath is the tiller. If the tiller coming out across the leaf sheath, growing under the soil and then coming up is the rhizome, as Jim mentioned before about the rhizomes and stolons. And if the tiller comes across the leaf sheath, grows above the ground is a stolon. So that's what my PhD was about, is that turf fescue have tillers only, rhizomes or stolons. So I ended up proving, well, we all ended up proving there, and that tillers, turf fescue have more tillers, less number of rhizomes. But they can be bred, they can be improved, and they can be have cultivars with rhizomes and tillers. So we ended up proving that turf fescue have rapid tillering rate. That means within a small amount of time we can have many number of tillers and covering lateral growth of the ground and have rhizomes. So which was earlier wasn't a great fact for people to believe in. They said no, turf fescue is all about tillers. So we can say that turf fescue have commonly a bunch type but can produce some rhizomes, and so we can call it rhizomatous turf fescue. And if you go in the market, you can find there are rhizomatous turf fescue cultivars, but they are coarser because turf fescue is also a forage type. So it can be divided into forage type turf fescue or turf type turf fescue. So you need to pick the pleasant one. The first turf type turf fescue cultivar was developed in 1980 at Rutgers called Rebel, which was fine textured, have high density, but it wasn't as final as you can look right now. This is the contemporary turf fescue, which we like to breed upon for more water tolerance, drought tolerance, and have less input and more output. That's I always believe. Whatever you do, you want to have less input and more output. So that's where we can get the profit. So that's what the breeding program is about. You put less water and get better grass. So, well, turf fescue currently what we are using is about golf course roughs and in the home lawns, because as Jim mentioned that it can stay green whole year long, though it requires more water than warm season grasses, but it does stay green whole year here, at least in southwest part of the country. But if you go to the east now, northeast coast, it goes dormant the moment the snow hit the ground. And then you can use it for sports field because it's sturdy grass. It can tolerate traffic pretty well as compared to the other cool season grasses. And it have in recreational sports fields and for sod production, that you can just buy a sod from a sod farm and lay it on your ground and just keep it water once in a while, as long as you can keep it dry, and then it can survive well as compared to other cool season grasses. So, talking more about turf fescue management, well, if you want to start from the seed, so this is a seeding rate which is like 5 to 7 pounds of turf fescue seeds per 1,000 square feet. So in this much amount of seed you need to seed 1,000 square feet area, and you let it grow, water it of course, you provide fertilizers, and within 14 days it will come up. And it will start as a small seedling and a single individual tiller from single seed, which will multiply more and then cover the whole ground, and you will get a uniform, dense, high vigor turf fescue in your lawn or in your garden or anywhere you think so. So then we need nitrogen. Well, its requirement is medium, which is 2 to 4 pounds nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per year. So you can provide different amount of nitrogen depending upon the season, depending upon the requirement, depending upon how well you can do it, how much time do you have it. It can go around 2 applications per year to 6 to 7 applications per year, depending upon the requirement, as I say. And well, irrigation requirement, it's low to medium comparing other cool season grasses. However, it's higher comparing to warm season grasses. Cutting height, well, the minimum I have wrote is 1.25 to 3 inch, but normally we go from 2 to 2.5. Some max, which normally doesn't happen, but 2 to 2.5 is an average cutting height. And we have strength. Well, tall fescue is desirable. Why? Because it has drought tolerant. It's cold hardy in East Coast because it goes less, not sooner the winter hits, but eventually it turns brown in the winters, and we don't need thatch control. Thatch. Does anyone knows what thatch is?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes. Oh, perfect. A lot of people knows a lot about turf.
We just read our entire 90 pages worth.
That's the best students, always come prepared. And well, the weakness in tall fescue is the coarser texture. Well, the one you have seen right now is a little bit smoother, but if you see go to the roadsides, go to the maybe some places where normally tall fescue is not being maintained, you will find a coarser texture. And one of the identifying feature is the one edge, there's two surfaces, abaxial and adaxial surfaces. So the back side of the tall fescue, I think, is ridges. So if you run your finger around the blade, you will feel a little ridgy surface. And you will see, oh, that's tall fescue. It's not smooth. No. But if it goes together, then you can walk on it and it will feel pleasant. So, and well, it's a water pig. Yeah, it needs water. Yeah, well, if you put in water, it will come out really well. It looks beautiful. It's still my favorite grass, though.
I have a question. It seems contradictory to me because it says drought tolerant is a strength and the weakness is it's a water pig or a hog. So
yeah,
those compared to the
Can you explain? Sure. Well, these terms are comparative. Your microphone. Okay, sorry. Still working? Can you hear me?
No.
Still,
let me address that since I added that to Priti's slide just so everyone knows.
Okay.
So we do, of the cool season grasses that Priti's going to talk about, tall fescue has the best drought tolerance. And actually that mechanism is what we call avoidance. What it has is typically a deep root system, and it can tap, as water supplies diminish or we reduce irrigation or we don't get as much rainfall, those deep roots can kind of tap into that water, and so it'll stay greener under those conditions. However, on the other side of the coin, if we just want to keep it looking really good, it actually has a high water use requirement, or higher than we have water resources for. So it's one of those things that on one side we can, if we really withhold the water on the cool season grasses, this will be the winner, right? But on the other side, if we want it to look as good as you're looking at there in the pot, it's going to take more water than when we really have the resources to give it. So,
thank you.
Are you back on now, Priti?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me? Yes. I'm back, sorry. All right. So as Jim mentioned, this is the picture which shows that tall fescue is drought tolerant because its roots can go as low as to 4 meters in the ground. So if the groundwater table is a little bit higher, it can suck the water from it and stay green, no matter if you're not irrigating the field even. So that's a very good benefit about this grass that you don't find in normally other cool season grasses because they are mostly fibrous root system and it's not as deep as the tall fescue has it. So, well, it's an NTEP. This is called National Turfgrass Evaluation Program. This is like a national level evaluating all commercial types or in the process of releasing population of different turfgrass species to be evaluated across the nation. And we can say, oh, this population is good, doing well in California, not doing well in New Jersey or somewhere else. So they have tons of location all over the country. And you should check this website out because it will give you the information about the performances of different cultivars which companies are selling, claiming about we have this trait, we have this trait. You can go on this site, check on that cultivar, whichever you're interested in, and then you can see how well or how bad they are doing in the given location. For example, there are a couple of cultivars which says, we are doing best in California. So you go on the NTEP trial, you go to the California location, which is Riverside location, and we have the evaluation trial at our center, and we do evaluate them there, and you can see the ratings. Is the ratings higher? The ratings are usually from 1 to 9 scale. 9 is the best, 1 is the worst. So if the higher the rating, better the grass is. So based on those ratings, you can choose whichever grass you want to. And if you have that particular grass in your head, you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever they are available. You can buy it. If it's not there, you can just call the company and they can provide you the seed. And you can have it at a better price, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
just again, another slide I interjected into Priti's presentation, just because one of the things I wanted Priti and Marco to discuss is our cultivars, that are really well adapted for our climate. And with the cool season grasses, there's just so many. I mean, we have a current NTEP tall fescue test in Riverside, and I believe there's 113 entries right now. So 113 different cultivars. Some are still experimental name, but most of them are commercially available. And how do you keep track of that? I mean, certainly, as she said, you can go onto the website and see what's doing best in Riverside. But here's where we really got to trust our industry, the seed companies, the seed distributors in California. Those are the ones that are they're looking at that data very closely, and they're developing blends or mixes of these types of grasses that are cultivars that are best adapted to kind of California's climate.
exactly. So here are some examples. If you can see, these are the good commercially available tall fescue cultivar, which I believe you can find in the local stores and can have in your lawn if you would like to, which you will be happy about, I'm sure. Alright, let's switch to the next cool season turfgrass, which is perennial ryegrass. And these grasses are dark green in color, they have a finer leaf texture than tall fescue, and the identifying trait is about that the backside of this grass have a glowing surface. If you see in the sunlight, you will right away, and that's ryegrass, because not any other turfgrass, cool season turfgrass species will be so smooth and glowing at the same time. So, and it's very pleasant to walk on, and it's very bunch type growth habit. It does not produce any rhizomes, it does not produce any any stolons. It's just bunch type, but it's highly have a fast establishment rate. Means if you put the seed in the ground, within 7 days you will have the seeds coming up and germinating, and within a month your lawn is as pretty to look at and walk on. So this is really good, but only the drawback in California, it requires water. It requires water more than tall fescue. So if we are good with the water input, rye is one of the good choice. So as we said, the growth habit is bunch type or rapid chilling type. Its utility is also as diverse as the tall fescue has, which is it can be used in the sports field because it has good traffic tolerance. You can play upon it, it will not gonna die as you walk on it. No, it can survive pretty well, and if you keep having the traffic tolerant ryegrass, you can kiss play every time it will be fine to go. And it can grow in the home lawns, can grow in the golf courses, landscape parks, and it also uses as an alternative for Bermuda grass here, because as you know, we talked about before that Bermuda or any warm and cool grass go dormant in the winter time. So you can overseed with rye, so it can stay green over the winter time, and as the summer comes up, it will go dormant, Bermuda comes up. So your lawn can stay green whole year, but you have to, switch between cool and warm season. So it will require some inputs, but as you say, it will stay green and pleasant any time of the year, using both the species. And yeah, so about the management of ryegrass, but before that I wanted to show this picture. Well, this is the overseeding. So this is the winter time, Bermuda grows dormant, but here you have overseeding with rye, and you can see the difference. So it just stays green, and here your lawn and your field is green whole year. So, alright, so back to the management of ryegrass. It's the seed size of the ryegrass is pretty much similar, almost identical size-wise is to tall fescue. They both are large seeded size species, and we can talk about that in the afternoon. Then when we will see those seed sizes, then you will see, oh, they are bigger size. So the larger the size, well, the rate is high. So where is 4 to 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet to need the seed rating. And for overseeding, well, we need a little bit higher. And for nitrogen requirement, it's higher than the tall fescue because, as you know, it bunch type, it doesn't have as much ability to produce roots. It will absorb more nitrogen from the soil. And the mowing requirement, it can vary. It can go a little bit lower than the tall fescue. And well, in overseed, you can go much lower. So strength is, well, the wood's positive point is about it can be overseeded, it can be traffic tolerant, and no needed thatch control because it does not produce thatch. And it's established very fast. Like I have mentioned before, that within 7 days you can have the grass green in your lawn after the seeding. But weakness, because of bunch type growth habit and fibrous root system, it cannot survive well under the drought conditions. So it's pretty weak in the drought tolerance. And in the cold also, it cannot have much, like, it can stay a little bit if the frost is intermittent. Once in a while it comes up, it will be fine, but if it's not continuous level, rye might will get killed.
Keep in mind that I think when Priti talks about frost, she's really talking about New Jersey frost.
Snow.
So she's just not too far removed from New Jersey, so our winters, these grasses will do okay. And just as another bit of input, like in Riverside, our inland environment, I mean, it's really difficult for us to maintain ryegrass as a monostand year round. It's I would say on average, if I said you've got the warm season grasses that require 20% less water than the cool season in general, I would say that ryegrass requires probably an additional 10 to 20% more water than tall fescue. So, you could keep it alive year round in our climate in Riverside, but that's a lot of water. And so that's another grass that we're actually trying to make better because it has really good quality characteristics, as Priti mentioned, relative to does some things that tall fescue can't do, but the big challenge is the water use, so we're trying to work on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about the seeding. Once you've seeded it, and let's say you seeded it, comes up, and then it goes dormant, do you have to seed again the following year, or does it come up permanently?
Well, if it's, for example, here the summer is really hot, it goes into the 100. So if we are running out of water is a constraint, then it will go dormant and it will die out. So we do have to require to reseed it, unless if we can maintain at the minimum level, water providing it, keep it green, unless though it goes dormant in the summertime, but it can revive in the fall. So there is a chance it's not like it's gonna kill, but you need to maintain it. So that's the effort to put it to keep it alive. So these are the commercially available ryegrass varieties, and actually a couple of them I got from Antep. I looked about the Antep and I see, which are doing well in California and which can be used at handy. Like if you guys really want to take home notes from there, which variety you want to look at it, here are the ones which we find out from the Antep. And they are really doing well, like top-notch varieties from the Antep for the Californian region.